In this video, we're going to talk about one of the world's most popular songbirds, the canary. Now, when you hear that word, you probably picture that cheerful yellow bird in the cage, right? But that's just one tiny piece of a much, much wilder story. So, if you really want to understand this iconic bird, we've got to go back, way back, to its origins. We're going to look at the small, rugged little finch that started it all. Let's pull back the curtain on the wild side of the canary. So, first things first. What exactly is a canary, and where in the world did it even come from? Okay, so scientifically speaking, the canary is a small bird that's part of the finch family. Its official name is Ceranis canaria, but you'll usually hear it called the Atlantic canary or the island canary. And here's the key takeaway. This wild bird, this is the direct ancestor of every single pet canary you've ever seen. And that name, the Atlantic canary, gives you a huge clue about where it's from. As you can see on this map, their original home turf is pretty exclusive. Just a few island groups in the Atlantic Ocean, the Azores, Madeira, and of course the Canary Islands. It was from these remote spots that they began their journey into our homes. Now that we know where they come from, let's zoom in on their family life. And you know what? It's surprisingly structured and full of teamwork. Wild canaries have this really cool strategy. Biologists call it being socially monogamous. So what does that mean? Well, it means a male and a female form a really strong pair bond that lasts for at least a whole breeding season. This partnership is absolutely essential for them to successfully raise their young, and get this, some pairs have even been seen sticking together for years. So all that teamwork, what does it lead to? Well, a dedicated pair will typically raise a clutch of about 3 to 5 eggs at a time, with 4 being the most common number. And this is where you really see that incredible teamwork in action. Once they've paired up, the female becomes the master architect. She builds the entire nest all by herself. So what's the male doing? He's the security guard. He stands watch and sings to defend their territory. Then she'll incubate the eggs for exactly 14 days. And once those little guys hatch, it's all hands on deck. Both parents work around the clock to feed their super hungry chicks. But life in the wild isn't all about raising a family, is it? It's a constant battle for survival. So let's take a look at what canaries eat, and, maybe more importantly, what eats them. When it comes to their diet, canaries are herbivores, which means they are strictly plant eaters. It's pretty simple, really. It's all about seeds. They'll search for seeds from all kinds of different grasses and plants, and they often do this in these large, chattering flocks. It's an amazing thing to see. But let's be real, being a small, colorful bird in the wild means you're basically a flying snack for a whole lot of predators. From the sky, they've got to watch out for things like falcons, hawks, and crows. And on the ground, the danger doesn't stop. They have to worry about snakes, lizards, and even smaller threats like mice and ants, which will try to raid their nests for eggs and chicks. Okay, now we get to what I think is one of the most fascinating parts of canary life, their social structure. And trust me, it's way more complex than you might think. So it makes you wonder, right? In a big group of canaries, is there a single undisputed leader? You know, a king or queen who's always in charge? Well, the answer is, not really. The answer is so cool. See, unlike chickens, which have a very rigid, straight-line pecking order, canaries have something much more fluid and flexible. It's called peck dominance. This means that who's in charge can change all the time, depending on the situation. A lower-ranked bird can absolutely win a fight against a supposedly higher-ranked one. It's a brilliant system that probably helps reduce serious fights in the flock. So what are these situations? What flips the script? Well, it comes down to 3 key things. First up, territory. A canary gets a serious home field advantage and will fight like crazy to defend the area around its nest. Second, the breeding season. This changes everything. A nesting female will often become dominant over her own mate. And third is sex. When it's not breeding season, males are generally the more dominant ones in the group. Alright, to wrap things up, let's do a quick hitter round of 5 surprising facts you probably never knew about these incredible little birds. First up, the Canary Islands were actually named after dogs. Canaria comes from the Latin word for dog. The birds were named after the islands, not the other way around. How crazy is that? Second, the female does all the construction. She's the only one who builds the nest. The male's only jobs are to sing and be the lookout. Third, remember we said about dominance? During breeding season, the female is the boss, and she'll even peck at her own partner. Fourth, that home field advantage is a very real thing. A canary has a much better chance of winning a fight if it's on its own turf. And finally, number 5. Every domestic canary you've ever seen was specially bred for one of 3 things: its eye-popping color, its beautiful song, or its unique body shape and feathers. So the next time you hear that famous song, you'll know there's a complex, tough, and totally fascinating wild bird behind it all. Alright, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.